What's up, y'all? It's your boy JTMM, aka Just 10 More Minutes, aka the Freakin 10, back again with another song from The Warning. This time it's an original, and this one is Choke. Now, this was released in 2022. I did notice from the songwriters, I didn't see any of their names there. So, I'm hoping that with one of these songs, it's one that they wrote the lyrics for. Just because I like seeing, from a songwriting perspective, some of their input into it, which they may or may not have, but that's just something I look for. But I am interested to hear this. This is kind of their first original that I'm covering. I have this one on the list and Evolve, but I also saw several Disciple, Money, Martirio, which I'm probably mispronouncing, as well. So, and I know I have Disciple and Evolve on my list. So if there's any other ones by them, let me know. But with that being said, let's switch it up. Take a listen. And yes, I actually did sneeze as I was looking to try to stop the mic there. All right. Without further ado, let's get to it.
I won't say goodbye. In the end, it won't matter at all. I'm sure I won't survive the fall.
Well done. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. Great vocals at the beginning. Yeah, I mean, you can see the age difference, obviously. A lot more closer to the Inner Sandman. From a lyrics perspective, great lyrics, and I like the way they tied some of these together. There's very few writers these days that I've seen do it, especially in the rock sense, where they'll tie two lyrics. And what I mean by this is when you're tying two lines together, you generally don't end it, or you generally end it as if you're completing a sentence, right? And I'll get to in a second. I'll show you what I mean by that. I won't say goodbye. In the end, it won't matter at all. I'm sure I won't survive the fall. So there's already your first rhymes all in fall. Wear your tears like jewelry. That vice is overpriced. But, and so, at least in the way that these are written, and she kind of did it the same way. I think it was written intentionally. It's wear your tears like jewelry. Next line, the vice is overpriced, but, and then so you're ending that with but, right? And we all know the rule of but. The vice is overpriced, but art is dead. It died with me. Don't cry. So the way that they tied those two lines together and delivered it, I liked that, because I think not a lot of artists do that these days. As much as in the hip hop they do, because that's how they tie a lot of sentences. You'll see Eminem do that quite a bit, where he'll end a line but continue it on the next line or the next set of lyrics, and tie it together. And that's exactly what they did. And I like that. Then you get into the chorus. Just let me drown, let me drown, let me dive in, sink in deeper, push my head, choke me till I drown, let me drown. You know, it's not like a bright, you know, shiny song. I mean, it's definitely a darker song, but I love the melody. I love the vocals. I'm not seeing microphones from the other two, so I'm not sensing that they have a part. Let's see where it goes. I like it so far. Great vocals. I'm gonna stop there because I'm hearing a background vocal, but I'm not sure if they've just mixed it in with the harmonization of her voice or if it's truly a backup. I saw the drummer kind of singing a little bit, but I don't think that that's necessarily her voice. And that's kind of getting to me as to who's providing that. She's got a great power vocal. And so, drifting out of trust, slipping down my throat and into my lungs, it's cold, but this is where I'll stay, comfortably in pain. Wear your tears like jewelry, the vice is overpriced, but art is dead, it died with me, don't cry. And then they repeat the main chorus, which is great. And I've said it before, what I look for when I listen to a band for the first time with their originals, how do they handle the chorus to verse to chorus transitions? And this is another one where, you know, they're not doing a huge tempo change. They're not doing a lot of tempo changes here, but where they do those changes is very, very, very smooth, which is great. They didn't go change this dramatically from a verse and then into the chorus. They just exemplified or amplified the main melody, which is music at its simplest, and they're doing it very, very well. I like this song. It's not overly complicated. Both with the music part, it's not overproduced. You know, they're not throwing in any extras that they don't need to. The visualizations are simple. I like it so far. Let's let it finish out. I like that. I like that a lot. Again, it's not overproduced. It's not overdone. I was starting to wonder why the youngest was so tall, and then I saw the platform, the lifts that she had on those boots, because I was like, holy crap, she grew. Which she still looks, you know, pretty tall compared to the other two. You know, I want to hear one that they've written lyric wise, because I know, you know, as a musician, there's always ones that you have, especially for her as the lead vocalist, of things that come to your mind. So I'm very interested to that. So if there's one like that, other than Choke Evolve or Disciple, definitely let me know in the comments, because I want to cover those to see her writing style. That always fascinates me. I love this song. It's not overly complicated. It's not, you know, one that goes into this overly complicated story. You know, it's like a machine every day. I'm on hold, breathe in, breathe out. I keep on waiting, tearing at my will. I wish I would just stop. And then they're repeating the chorus. And I love it. When you get into this type of genre, especially for these younger artists, they have a tendency sometimes to try to overdo it, right? To make that big name, to, you know, not necessarily find their groove yet, I guess is really the best way to put it. But, you know, they've been doing this for quite a few years, and this song really shows them. And so I'm interested to see if some of the other songs fit that, because they really look comfortable doing this. This didn't seem like this was out of their comfort zone from a song perspective. And I don't know the history of the band, but what I do understand is that evolving from a younger talent to truly finding who you are as a band and what you're about. And so I do want to see if some of their other songs, like Evolve, A Disciple, Money, and the ones that I mentioned earlier, are along the same lines, or do they, you know, are they still trying to find who they are as musicians and as The Warning? So I'm definitely interested. I like their vocals. Again, she's just got this tone. It's very clean, you know. You don't hear a heavy accent with it. Very well spoken, very well articulated, so it's very easy to understand, which always adds to the experience, where you're not trying to go, what is it they're saying? Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of all the positives and if there's any negatives. And I'm trying to think about from a negative standpoint of, I think the only thing that got me was just that background vocal and who was providing it. But when they went into that kind of spoken me of let me drown, let me dive in, sink in deeper, push my head, choke, and that part, I think that was her spoken voice, and I could be wrong, with her then singing in the background on top of it. So I'm thinking, you know, they may have just done the harmonizations, which is perfect. So that's really my only thing, but that's not a knock. That's more of a question. Yeah, I want to see what else they've got. They've got this sound that, like, this is one that you could put on a playlist. And, you know, be walking and be doing everything, driving down the road and just chilling and just truly rocking out. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot. There's not much else I could say. Let me switch it up, give you my final thoughts. I say that as I then give you my final thoughts. You know, as I said, the change and the way that they're switching from chorus to verse to chorus, extremely clean. I love it. I covered a band during this recording session that I'm doing. This is now my 5th or 6th recording of the morning. It's now 7:23. I've been going at it since roughly like 5:15. But I've listened to a band earlier that I never listened to, and it was just off. It couldn't connect with me. This connected with me. They've got a great sound to them. very mature. I think that's the best. I think that's why I'm sitting here pausing and thinking is it, they're blowing me away by their musical maturity, and it goes back to that first, recording of them doing Inner Sandman, which, again, I've got a horrible memory, was either like 2004, 2009. And how well they did that. Production wasn't great, but that mean they were doing it in a different, without the mix and all of that. So I didn't factor that in at all. It's the musical maturity to take a song like Metallica and put yourselves out there, right? Metallica is one of the greatest bands of all times when it comes to music. And to take that on at such a young age and put that confidence out there, obviously it worked very well for them. But to then, come out from that and then do your own thing and not just be a cover band, take some maturity. And that's what I'm saying. That's the easiest way to put it, is to not be defined by that cover that brought you your popularity, that's all you do, because that's your comfort zone. Having the maturity to say, we have other stuff, we can do other stuff, takes a lot, and it takes some guts to put yourself out there. I've done that personally when we were performing. We started out with covers of ZZ Top and Georgia Satellites and Muddy Waters. But then when I started writing original songs lyrically, and my brother and I started putting together songs like My Way, and the Highway Song and some other ones, it took a lot to perform those, because you are letting out that vulnerability. For them to do this at such a young age, hats off to them. Love it. Can't wait to watch more. Let's do some shameless plugs. If you like the video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know more songs to cover by them. I got a couple of them from the list you've already given me, but if there's more, let me know. If you like the content I'm putting out, you saw that subscribe button, go ahead and hit it. I release content dang near every day now, because I'm fully invested into it. Monday, Wednesday, I do Ginger, Sabaton, Nightwish, and a bonus video from their request list. Then on Fridays, it's nothing but requests with Free for All Friday. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm covering Sabaton history. I just recorded my first one that will go out this Tuesday, being tomorrow. And then also, I am releasing, or I guess now you have already seen, the video that started it all for the warning with Inner Sandman as kids. And that experience blew me away in itself. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. That's all I can say. And so, I'm releasing more content because I'm truly getting back into this, and I'm fully invested and I'm loving it. It's not a burden. It's an enjoyment. And so I look forward to many, many, many more years of doing this. My goal, honestly, within the next 2 years is to be doing this full time. So keep the support going and help me make my dream come true. For those that have accomplished their dreams, and I've spent 23 years at the same company. So I've done well for myself. But this is where I truly feel at home, is with music, giving my thoughts on it, and us interacting in the community. I truly feel like this is what I was meant to do. So I'm looking forward to this journey and continuing on the journey. So with that being said, Fred, that's going to end it with me. I hope you all enjoyed this. I truly enjoyed this. I can't wait to see more from them. I really can't. But until then, always remember, if someone asks you to stop what you're doing, don't ask for 1, don't ask for 2, and certainly don't ask for 5. Someone asks you to stop what you're doing, always ask for just 10 more minutes. I'm JTMM. I'm out.